Flew into Canada yesterday for a design sprint with a client. Basically, a design sprint is when a bunch of people, a team comes together to try to solve a particularly hard problem. In this case, we're gonna recreate an app. I mean, there's an app that exists and we want to create the next version of it. So we want to think about everything and try to brainstorm and come up with new and better solutions to the current problems. Now, we're gonna use the Google methodology for a design sprint. They usually recommend 5 days for a design sprint. Unfortunately, we only have 2 days for this sprint, so I had to rethink how to structure things so we can still get the most out of our time. I'm excited. I never met the client, so I'm a bit nervous about this, but it's, you know, it's an adventure. It's early in the morning. I'm gonna take a few minutes or an hour to kind of prepare myself, go over the schedule and prepare, get everything ready for the meetings. Then I'm gonna grab breakfast with Ari. Ari is my partner here. We're gonna run this together and then head off to the meetings. Just got back from a whole day of meeting, 9 to 5, just brainstorming and talking. It's been pretty exhaustive. My brain is like melting after a day of just thinking, but I think it was rather successful. I kind of want to share with you how this day went. So basically, we met around 9. Started with the CEO of the company giving a presentation overview of the company. Afterwards, I kind of took hold of the meeting, explained what we're gonna do in the sprint, kind of the goals, and have everybody around the room introduce themselves. We were, I think, five people or 6 people in the sprint, so got to know each other, and then started by defining what is the goal. What are we actually trying to achieve with this specific design sprint? What are we trying to solve? What are kind of the risks that we should try to avoid? And after defining that, we kind of started by creating a map of the journey of the users. What are the key steps, key moments that a user going through the app experiences? What are the type of different users? And the point of that was to actually highlight where is the critical moment in the app that we want to focus on today, because again, this is a very, very short effort and we really want to know where we want to put our focus and what experience we really want to improve. After doing that, deciding on which area we want to focus on, we kind of did what Google calls expert talks, which mean every one of the people in the sprint, and we brought in two other people in the company. I interviewed them in front of everybody else, asking them about their perspective, about the problem, about the company in general, and while everybody's taking notes. So one of the key things of the design sprint is the principle is that nobody knows everything, right? And that we should kind of use this sprint time together to create a shared brain. And we do that by writing a lot of notes on a sticky notes and then putting up on the wall. And after we finished those sessions, we kind of went over together on all of the sticky notes, kind of put them in groups and kind of realize what are the trends and what are the issues that came up again and again in everybody's mind, and that was really, really helpful. After that, we took a lunch break, and when we came back, we actually got into the sketching of idea phase. Now, I saw when I would kind of explain this to them that people imagine those are technical people. There was no people who are designers, they're not into user experience, and they don't usually sketch, so it's kind of hard for them to bring their concepts into a concrete sketch of a user flow. So we really had to talk them into it, how to do this, and actually they came up with pretty good ideas. So basically, according to the Google methodology, you just put the sketches of the ideas on the wall, and then nobody present their own idea. But our situation was that some of the sketches weren't really clear, so everybody went over and kind of explained what he tried to convey in the sketch. And there were some ideas were better and some ideas were not really relevant. The thing I like the most is that during the sketching period, I kind of panicked because I thought, oh, I don't have an idea. You know, you only have like 2 hours to come up with the idea for the whole solution of the thing. And I didn't feel like I had a brilliant idea. I did 2 sketches of 2 different ideas, but in the end, somebody else from the team came up with an idea which was much better than me, and I totally liked his idea. And the CEO also said, this is the winning idea. So that was such a great, and he was like, but I don't know anything about UX. I only tried to come up with everything that you guys are talking about. And I think this is a beautiful kind of a illustration how thinking together, you know, working together, you get sometimes a solution from somebody who's not the designer, who's not into user experience, but he can come up with a very original and solution that you might have not thought about. So we kind of, basically you should have a vote, but that was very clear that his idea was best, so he kind of was selected. And basically what we're going to do tomorrow is actually expand on that idea, create a whole storyboard around it, and then create a mock-up of it. But that's that for tomorrow. So at 5 a.m. we close the day. Actually, I wasn't even I was so tired and exhausted I couldn't keep working anyway. So now I'm back at the hotel. I think I'm gonna get some rest and then probably grab dinner together with Ari, my partner. All right, here's the plan. We're gonna get some noodles. I'm gonna try to get some live music, some drinks. That's the plan. Rock and roll.